Hey there, Carnage Cravers. Welcome back to Carnage Corner. It is now the Monday after WrestleMania, and I want to talk about WrestleMania. Now, it could be that I went into this show with very low expectations, because truth be told, I did. But I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised with this show overall. I'll go ahead and talk about a few things. Start with the kickoff show. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The Battle Royals are always a bit of a cluster. But they're always entertaining. And ultimately, it came down to, Matt Hardy, Baron Corbin, and Mojo Rawley. And lights go out, and Bray Wyatt actually helps Matt Hardy win. And they have a moment together. So maybe Bray's dip in the lake of reincarnation has woken Bray. So I don't know where they're going to go with this, but it could be interesting. I don't know when Jeff is coming back. We saw Jeff at the Hall of Fame in the crowd, but that doesn't mean that he's cleared to compete. So I guess we'll see what happens from here. I'm not a big fan of the Woken gimmick, and I'm not that big a fan of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was on fire when he first came out, but they did some things wrong. Excuse me, I'm sorry. They did some things wrong. That WrestleMania went till friggin' midnight. Holy crap. Like 7 hours of wrestling programming. Wow. Alright, well. So Matt Hardy wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He deleted all the other competitors and procured the Andre. So, and then of course we went into the, also on the kickoff show was the Cruiserweight Championship match between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Again, I've said this a million times, I'm not the biggest fan of the high-flying style. I can appreciate the skill it takes to do that for sure. It's just not it's not my favorite type of wrestling, I guess I'll say. But, these guys, they definitely went out there and they left it all in the ring. They gave that crowd everything they had. So kudos to them for that. Cedric Alexander wins the Cruiserweight Championship, so, good for him as well. We will see what happens moving forward with the cruiserweights. I think Buddy Murphy's going to be very much involved moving forward in the cruiserweights. I think that's a foregone conclusion, as well as Kalisto probably. But for right now, Cedric Alexander is the cruiserweight champion, and they had a very exciting match. A nice Spanish fly off the top turnbuckle also. Crazy ass spot. And then we'll go on to the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal. And yes, I am still calling that because the fact that they changed the name over allegations that are, 50 some odd frickin' years old cannot be proven or disproven for that matter. And it's about a woman who is A, dead, and B, it doesn't change the fact that she was a trailblazer for women's wrestling. So, stop shitting on people after they've already died. Seriously. But that being said, so I'm still calling it the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal. And the winner of that was Naomi. Now, Naomi should be a heel now with the way she went, because she hid under the freaking ring until Bayley thought she won and then came out and dumped Bayley over the top rope. So, that's a heel move if I've ever seen one. But in either case, Naomi wins the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal. So, now the main card of WrestleMania, they opened it up and they had these two really good singers. What the hell were their names? I think one of them was named Kelly. Was one of them named JoJo? I can't remember their damn names. I'm going to have to look it up. Anyways, they had these great singers. They were really good. I'd never heard of them before. And they were really, really good. and they had them out, and they sang "America the Beautiful," which I mean, who doesn't love "America the Beautiful"? Great song. Well, I mean, maybe people in other countries don't like it, but people in America, I'm sure, like the song. It's a good song. I don't understand why they didn't sing the national anthem. Why I don't know why we would open an event with "America the Beautiful" and not the national anthem. So maybe they had a reason. I don't know. I don't understand it. I think tradition would dictate that it probably should have opened with the national anthem. I don't know. I did catch one thing though. One of the singers, her big ass earring fell off during the song, and she's just like catches it in the crook of her arm here, and she just keeps going. You're like, I give her credit, stage presence. She caught it, and she didn't make a scene, so it was funny. We opened up with the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz, and of course, The Miz sent Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel to the back. He didn't have the Miztourage out there. He wanted to do it on his own. So who knows? We may see a character change for the Miz in the near future, because that's a babyface thing to do. And then of course Balor came out last, and Balor is repping his new merchandise. He's got that new merchandise with the rainbow logo. It's his normal logo, but instead of it being white or any other color, it's rainbow. I think the proceeds for that go to an organization. I don't know what the name of the organization is though. I didn't look it up. Either way, he come out and he's got all the colors going on and everything else, and they go into what was one of the best triple threat matches I've seen in forever. I mean, just a really great triple threat match, a great way to set the bar, so to speak, for WrestleMania. And and there was, especially towards the end, you started getting the false finishes and the oh going on, and then of course Seth Rollins with the win. Seth Rollins got the win. He is now Intercontinental Champion. He also coincidentally is now a Grand Slam champion, having held the WWE title, the United States title, tag team titles, and now, of course, the Intercontinental title. So congratulations to Seth Rollins. Coincidentally, he was the first Shield member to become WWE champion and the last Shield member to become a Grand Slam champion. Funny how that works. So that being said, I'm curious to see where they will go with Seth in the future. They probably will have him feud with Finn. I'm assuming Miz will take a little bit of time off, but he may feud with Miz when Miz comes back. I don't know, but man, the possibilities are very open. We could also see Dean Ambrose come back and feud with Seth Rollins over the Intercontinental title. That is also possible. So, and they keep showing Cena in the crowd. They keep showing John Cena sitting in the crowd. Which, the more they show him, the more I'm like, something's going to happen. And I already had a theory that something was going to happen, as I talked about on my previous shows. But moving on from there, after Rollins wins, we get Charlotte versus Asuka. Great match. Really, really, really great match. Good match. I was surprised by the ending. As I talked about before, I really expected for Asuka to win, and then for Carmella to cash in, and that be how Asuka's streak was broken. I think that would have been a great way for, some massive amounts of heel heat. I certainly think that is a better booking, a better storytelling, but alas, that's not what they did. What they did is still good. I mean, Asuka's streak is broken because Charlotte retains. At the end of the day, at least it was somebody like Charlotte and not somebody like Dana Brooke or Sasha Banks. So it had to end eventually. This isn't the way I expected it to end, and it's not the way I would have had it end, but alas, it is over nonetheless. Charlotte retains. And right after the Charlotte match, like, they're not even gone yet, and all of a sudden, a referee comes running down and jumps into the crowd and to talk to John Cena. And Cena's like, what? And he gets up and he jumps over the barricade and he runs into the back. So it's like, what? But, so Cena runs into the back, and then we go into our fatal four-way. Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev versus Randy Orton. A couple of things I told you were going to happen. I told you, A, Orton wasn't walking out of there with the United States title, and he didn't. I told you Jinder Mahal would win the United States title, and he did. I do not, I by no stretch of the imagination did I get everything right, but so some of these things, the booking just jumps off the page, off the screen, and it's so obvious. Jinder makes perfect sense as United States champion. You have an America-hating heel as the United States champion. Well, god damn, does that not make sense? It makes perfect sense. Now, if you just get an uber patriotic superstar to go after him, you can have a freaking, Chic Hogan-esque feud, or a Sergeant Slaughter, Hogan-esque feud. They did that with Hogan a lot, didn't they? Point is, it could be a really good feud, and I think it would be good for Jinder. I'm happy for Jinder. For all intents and purposes, from everything I understand, he seems like he's a decent guy, and I'm happy he's having success. So that being said, we then go into the mixed tag team match: Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. I have hated the build to this match. I have absolutely hated it. I felt like they handled Ronda wrong throughout the build. But the way they psychologied this match at least made sense, with Triple H and Stephanie cheating their asses off and manipulating the referee and the rules. It definitely tried to showcase how Stephanie and Hunter could walk away, especially Stephanie, walking out to this thinking that she would have an advantage. But eventually, Kurt got that tag, and Ronda came in, and Stephanie had to get in the ring with Ronda, and that's when, as they say, shit got real. To make a long story short, we saw a fair amount of male versus female physicality here, mostly with Ronda Rousey and Triple H, which I'm sure, obviously both of them signed off on that. Again, I'm not a big fan of seeing, male on woman violence in real life or on television, for that matter. It's just, that's not something I generally like to see. Although in the confines of this story, I will say that it did make sense. Triple H is desperate, and Ronda's not gonna back down. And they did a spot that wasn't meant to be funny, but God, was it funny, with Ronda backing Triple H into the corner and him just trying to block the punches. Again, it wasn't meant to be funny, but it was funny. And, of course, the match ended with Ronda locking Stephanie into the armbar. Wasn't a real armbar, as anybody who has watched Ronda's MMA career will know. But it looked good. They made it look good. I fully expect on Raw tonight to hear that Stephanie McMahon's arm is broken. Maybe she can have a dip in the lake of reincarnation. She'll come out healed, woken, and not such a bitch. In character. In real life, I guess she's a nice person. I would not know. I never met her. That being said, I've heard that she's not a horrible person in real life. Her husband's a douche. Him I met. He's a douche. But that's neither here nor there. So to make a long story short, Stephanie McMahon taps out to Ronda Rousey. Curious to see what they'll do with Ronda from here on out. Ronda could make a a decent opponent for Nia. Problem is you've got Nia set up. If you want Nia to have a long title run, don't put her in the ring with Ronda. You know, for right now, they should be. Oh shit! I just gave away the end of the women's Raw women's match. Damn it! Booking ahead of myself here. In either case, I'm curious to see what they will do with Ronda. The triple threat match for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships: New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos, and great match. Really, really exciting match. Really good. Shorter than you might expect, but in a good way. And the Bludgeon Brothers, they come out on top. We got new tag team champions, and I couldn't be happier. I'm very, very happy about having new tag team champions. You know, and that's not to say I don't like the Usos. I like the Usos. I don't like the New Day. I wish they would have had Big E turn on Xavier and Kofi. That way he could have became a serious competitor rather than this, you know, the gyrating gaggle of goofs. Just no. It's done. It's played out. It's over. Stop. Stop. Please stop. You embarrass yourself. Stop. Anyway, so Cena comes out to his music and in his ring gear. The referee comes out and he goes to tell Cena something. He whispers something in Cena's ear, and Cena grabs him by his shirt because he's all pissed off, and the lights go out. The lights go out, and then Elias comes out, and Elias, he sings a little song, and he pisses Cena off, and Cena beats Elias up. And just when Cena's gonna head back to the backstage area, the lights go out again. And then the Undertaker comes out. Well, technically, first we saw the hat and the jacket in the ring, and then lightning struck the ring. Looked like crap, by the way. Very bad. And then, of course, the hat and the jacket were gone, and then the Undertaker came out. As you remember, I had suspected that Kid Rock would play American Badass, and that Taker would come out on his bike as the American Badass gimmick and call Cena out of the crowd. That's what I expected. Whether or not it would have been better than what they did, I don't really know. If they had to do Undertaker versus John Cena, I'm glad they did it the way they did it, because Taker pretty much squashed Cena. Which, I mean, that's what Cena deserves. He does not deserve to put up a good fight against The Undertaker. Not as far as I'm concerned. So, Taker squashes Cena, as it should be. And then we move into the Alexa Bliss Nia Jax match. Alexa came out with Mickey, but Nia brutalized Mickey early on and just smushed her. And then we had Alexa versus Nia, which was more competitive than I was expecting. They let Alexa put up a fight, but as I alluded to earlier, Nia did win. She won with a Super Samoan drop, which is a Samoan drop off of the, I believe it was the middle turnbuckle, not the top, but, what is it, a difference of a foot? About a foot. So, in either case, Nia wins. Nia is the Raw Women's Champion. And we'll see where we go from here. As again, I don't think Nia should work with Ronda. Not yet. Not if you want Nia to have a long championship reign, or a decent sized one. Alexa does get a rematch. That's generally what happens next, is the former champion gets a rematch. So definitely possible there. And we'll just see what happens moving forward. And we got our WWE Championship match. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So many people have been waiting to see this for so long, because this may come as a shock, but, not everybody had seen AJ versus Shinsuke from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Some people haven't seen that yet, and they were really chomping at the bit to see this. Um, so I don't think I saw those whole matches. I know I've seen clips from them, but I don't think I ever saw them in their entirety. So I was excited to see this as well. Also, they may do something different. They may do something new. I don't think they did anything different or new, but it was still a good match. The fans in the arena. I don't know if I want to say they went to sleep on them, but they weren't as vocal as you might have expected. I don't know what those fans were expecting, but I mean, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. I was surprised that AJ won. I mean, I like AJ and I like Shinsuke. I told you on my prediction video, I don't really care which way this goes, but I do think that Shinsuke will win. And AJ retained, which surprised me. And I tell you what, as soon as I saw Shinsuke drop to one knee to hand AJ the title, I knew. I knew AJ was getting that low blow. I knew Shinsuke was turning heel. Shinsuke, he nailed AJ right in the groin, and then proceeded to kick the living crap out of him. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling heel Shinsuke Nakamura. Turn this guy into a wrecking machine. He's got the striking acumen. You've been calling him the king of strong style forever. Start showing him being absolutely devastating. I'm digging it. I'm really, really digging it. So, that being said, we then go... Oh, shit. Excuse me. We then go into the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The bar comes out on a damn Mardi Gras float. And then Braun comes out and scares away all the Mardi Gras characters and dumps the float off the stage. Braun then has to pick his partner. He goes into the crowd to pick his partner. He picks a 10-year-old boy named Nicholas. Now, we were all slightly confused by this. My wife thought at first that maybe it was a Make-A-Wish kid. I don't know if that's true. I've been doing a little digging, and I've heard two different stories. I've heard that the kid was actually the child of referee Jeff Cohn, and I've also heard that I also seen a picture of when the McMahon family, the whole McMahon family, went and saw President Trump in the White House. They took a picture in the Oval Office there, and it looks like the same kid standing there with the family. So that would be one of Shane's boys. Then I can't confirm either of these. These are just the things that are circulating. Either way, I mean. Okay, listen, y'all gonna hate me. But if Kenny Omega can sell for a 9-year-old girl, why can't a 10-year-old boy stand on the apron while Braun wins the tag team titles? Come on now. I admit, yeah, it's a little silly, but they're getting the point across that Braun doesn't need a partner. So he picked literally the least qualified partner he could have. The only person less qualified to be his partner than Nicholas would be Byron Saxton or Enzo Amore. Yeah. Actually, Enzo would be the least qualified. So, I mean, I don't really see this as a big deal. Whether or not they're going to, because I doubt they're going to keep Nicholas around to, if that is his real name, keep Nicholas around to defend the titles or be tag team champions. They may strip Braun of the titles. They may do that. I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do on Raw tonight. So, and Braun did win. He did win the tag team titles. There was one moment where he did tag in Nicholas. And Nicholas got in, and Cesaro made a face at Nicholas, and Nicholas tagged Braun right back in. I think it was meant to be funny. It was a little funny. But again, Braun is tag team champions with a 10-year-old boy named Nicholas. And we're going to see how this one plays out And I'm reserving harsh judgment until I see how this plays out. Um, so and then we go into the main event: Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And I will say this much: I'm not a Roman Reigns fan, but Brock seems to bring out the best in Roman. Uh, Brock really does bring out the best in Roman. Some of the best matches I've seen Roman do were against Brock Lesnar. And that could be because they look so freaking real. And it's probably because these two guys actually freaking, beat on each other some. I mean, Brock's been known to stiff guys, and Brock doesn't care if guys stiff him. So it's Roman ended up taking like what, 5, 6, 7 F5s before all was said and done. He got put through the announce table. Roman did some bumping. He got beat up, and Brock sold for Roman too. It's not like Brock's an asshole not selling here. Um, you know, Brock started taking off his gloves, and I knew as soon as he started taking off those gloves, he was going to hardway Roman. Because, I mean, the last time we seen Brock take off his gloves like that, he hardwayed Randy Orton. So I was just like, I just, knew it right away. And he did. He vicious elbow shots, split Roman open on his hairline. Roman bled like a stuck pig. I mean, it was a good cut, good color for sure. I had to explain what hardway was to my wife, and meaning getting busted open without the assistance of a blade. And then they go back to a shot of Roman, and he's in a pool of blood already. And she's like, "Are you sure he didn't blade?" And I'm like, "No, we saw it happen." we saw the bust open happen. He did not blade. So now, whether or not Vince was okay with the call of the hard way, I do not know. I'm gonna assume he was. That could have been Roman and Brock going into business for themselves. I do not know. I'm sure that some reporter from some magazine is gonna get on top of that and try and figure that out. And I would be interested to know. Not that it makes much of a difference. It was a nice touch to the match having the color. I'm not one of those people that's opposed to blood in matches. I don't want it to be overused, but I want it to be used properly. And it can be used properly to great, great success. And I'm really I'm really hoping that it will come back. I mean, at least at the pay-per-views. Okay, you don't want to do it on Raw or SmackDown? Fine, I get that. You're on, you're on cable TV. But it's a good story tool. When you want to tell a good story, you really should not handicap yourself. That being said, I mean, I told you the other day, Roman's going to win. I don't want Roman to win, but Roman's going to win. I said that Roman spends copious amounts of time with his Monica pads underneath Vince's desk, and for that reason, Roman was going to win. Well, apparently Roman drags his teeth because Roman didn't win. Brock Lesnar retains. I was happy. I don't hate Brock Lesnar. I just want Brock to come and defend his title at every pay-per-view. You ain't got to be on Raw every Monday night, Brock, but at least show up to defend the belt. That's all I ask. I don't think it's asking too much. So we'll see where we go from here. There are many rumors of Bobby Lashley coming back to the WWE and the possibility of getting Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at, say, SummerSlam. And that may be why Brock has retained and is holding on to the title. I'd be okay with that. I mean, people compared Lashley to Lesnar a lot during his WWE run. They had some similarities. And you got two guys who can wrestle, two guys who can, grapple with the best of them, and two guys who can throw hands. I mean, Lashley himself also involved in MMA. I mean, he went the Bellator route, not the UFC route, but I mean, it could be a good it could really be a good match. It could really, really be good. And I would be totally cool with it. I would actually be happy to see Lashley win the Universal Championship. I think that would be cool. And then, we go forward from there. But alas, we do not know if that's actually going to happen. It is only rumor. But how often does rumor become fact in the world of professional wrestling? So that being said, if I was going to give this an overall grade, I gave TakeOver New Orleans an 8, and I stand by that. I enjoyed this WrestleMania. I'm going to wait a second. I skipped a match, didn't I? I did. I skipped the match between with Shane and Daniel versus Cammy. Cammy stays fired. Daniel made Sammy tap out? Yeah, Daniel made Sammy tap out. So, yeah, sorry. It was just the Hobbit match. It doesn't matter. That being said, I give WrestleMania, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I say it wasn't quite as good a show as NXT TakeOver was, but it was still a damn good pay-per-view, damn good show. I was happy with, I wasn't unhappy with the outcomes. So, that being said, I am Ken Carnage. And remember, until next time, Carnage is right around the corner.